Paschatya Deshatana. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. Thank you for coming. Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, who's calling me? There's no signal here. I have no phone. Who could be calling me? Bimal Krishna. Our project director, Bimal Krishna Prabhu. He's, in case you don't know, in Vrindavan we're doing a Krishna Balaram cultural program project. We're tearing apart half our complex, the old Gurukula building, where we had structural engineers tell us it's not sound, not stable, not safe. And very sacred. Prabhupada laid the cornerstone. But at the same time, we're looking for the future of preaching Krishna consciousness. We can provide a facility where devotees can have a beautiful Govinda's restaurant. Also, we're making like 200 apartments, rooms there that many people can come for 1 month and re-spiritualize their energy and their batteries. Very safe, soundproof, won't hear any noise. And there's many facilities. We had one. We have a very good architect and structural engineers, and everything's in motion. And our diaphragm wall, we started already putting the basic diaphragm. Will be 2 basements, ground plus 3. But there'll be a lot of space between the temple, the Samadhi, Prabhupada's house, and the guest house, where there'll be a lot of greenery and space. It'll look very beautiful, and all the arches will be there and pillars, and it'll be part of the family. It won't look like some new monstrosity of some sort. Anyway, it was Bimal Krishna Prabhu. He's heading up a project there. Also, it's not about me, but I was born in Macedonia. That's in the Mediterranean area. Came to America in 1961. Little boy. Failed the first grade. I couldn't speak English. Still not speaking very good, but doing okay. In Buffalo, New York. Shruti is from Philadelphia, so we're both from the East Coast area. Many devotees came from Buffalo. I'm not a devotee yet, but many devotees came in Buffalo, but I came a little bit later. I was doing transcendental meditation, TM, with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi for a few years, and then I met the devotees in 75. And then Buffalo, Toronto, then Miami. Met Prabhupada in 1976, and July 4th, bicentennial, 200th anniversary of America's independence. And it was 3 days, and Washington, D.C., we were there. And then Prabhupada went to New York, Rath Yatra in Toronto. I think Shruti Kirti Prabhu knows his traveling itinerary. But it's just reading Lilamrita. I like reading about Prabhupada, how determined and dedicated he was to fulfilling the order of his spiritual master. And one cannot make spiritual advancement unless we follow the acharyas, get the blessings of the acharyas. It's not that simply by, studying like a hermit or going in a cave chanting many mantras, but by receiving the blessings of the Guru Parampara, Srila Vyasa, Narada Muni, Srila Vyasa Dev, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came to give Krishna consciousness, just as Lord Krishna came to call all the conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. In the spiritual world, there's unlimited spiritual planets, Vaikuntha Lokas, the Loka Vrindavan, transcendental world. We are all eternal, ever existing. We have a relationship with Krishna. We've forgotten that relationship because we wanted to forget. We wanted somehow exercise our independence to be in this world, to try to enjoy. And everyone's trying in many ways, even if there's so many material facilities. There may be so many nice vehicles and nice buildings and nice activities that everyone's looking for happiness, but that happiness is not being fulfilled. Doesn't matter whether when one is a family man or woman, it's an impetus to work hard. I want to take care of my family, I want to take care of my children. I want everyone to see that, I'm successful in life. And Prabhupada came just at the perfect time for all of us. I was reading how in New York, especially in the 50s, and many people were coming. The Irish came, the German came. And then in the 60s, there was a middle class from, there became many hippies because they were not satisfied with the lifestyle of their family or looking for economic development, looking for happiness in the material world. All there was suffering and war and struggle. And how Srila Prabhupada amazingly came, how he came from India and the voyage and the struggle of translating Srimad Bhagavatam, personally distributing Back to Godhead magazine, and just approaching all the different people. Give me one son, I'll make him a Vaishnava. Very difficult to find even one person. No, my son needs an education, needs to get a job, needs to be well situated, because everyone has to make money and be successful in life. Otherwise, what's a sadhu? Sadhu is something that's you might experience somewhere in the Himalayas, or maybe during Kumbh Mela. You see so many people who are gathering for a spiritual experience. But that's not the reality. But the real reality, Prabhupada in the League of Devotees, he already was envisioning spreading the Krishna consciousness movement in a very systematic way, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. Krite Viteyache Yada Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachara Hoive Moranam. He wanted that in every town and village the name of Krishna should be glorified. And how's that going to happen? It's not possible, because everyone has speculation, and all the leaders of society, no one's giving any real guidance or clarity. And Prabhupada came somehow by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the grace of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayers. Well, first of all, Advaita Acharya is praying for, Lord, you please personally come. So Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda appeared like the sun and moon. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave up his beautiful young wife, I think she was 15, 16 years old, and his mother. How can one give up his mother and one's wife? But he gave it that kind of renunciation to show us, not that we artificially, okay, I'm going to do that too, and then just be careless or irresponsible. But ultimately, we have to give up all attachments to this material world. And how to do that? Then this International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving us an opportunity, and Prabhupada, it is chanting the holy name, book distribution, thinking of how to use everything in Krishna's service. We're using the microphone, we're using the harmonium, we're using the traveling and preaching. We're utilizing everything for Krishna's service and making our family Krishna conscious, and doing something for spreading this mission. I know every day we're going on book distribution in the airport. In Miami, we had a good Sankirtan team. I was doing book distribution with many nice devotees. Pragosh was there sometimes, and
Tripurari would travel. And Srila Prabhupada inspired everyone with his love, with his caring. He would actually, in the early days in 1966, when Prabhupada was on 26 Second Avenue, and after being at Dr. Mishra's ashram, Ananda ashram, and many places, the Mayavadis didn't want to hear the bhakti, devotional service activities. So Prabhupada directed, somehow after his roommate went crazy from LSD and from drugs, Prabhupada just ran out and left everything behind. And he didn't know whether to turn right or left. No money, nothing, nowhere to go, what to do. Here's a 70-year-old man from Calcutta. And of course, he's never fearful, always depending on Krishna. And it's showing extremes, because all of us have difficulties, all of us are struggling. We struggle with our mind, we struggle with our husband and wife, with our children, thinking how to become happy. Only if I had this, I'd be happy. But no material possessions that will make us happy. Prabhupada, in 26 Second Avenue, he'd be translating, working tirelessly. Anyone can come and see him, and he would spend time with them in a loving and caring way. So in the same loving, caring way that Prabhupada had for starting or planting the seed, and he was trying to get the government of India to, hey, we can start a Krishna temple in America for all his god brothers. He would tell them that, you helped me start a temple. This is what Bhaktisiddhanta wanted. He would send his devotees to Europe, send them to different places. But no one was successful. To some degree, we're not trying to minimize, but Srila Prabhupada, Shakti Vaishavatar, he's empowered incarnation, because one cannot preach the message of Krishna consciousness without the blessings of Krishna, without the empowerment of Krishna. So within our very time, within our own existence, here we are in Dubai, and you look at the skyline of Dubai, all the beautiful buildings and all the Maseratis and BMWs, what are the kinds of Porsches, and what did police drive? Yeah, I can't even pronounce those things. But and that everyone from all the wealthy people are thinking, if I had a mansion, on the ocean, and it's worth $100 million or $10 million, but there's no happiness, because ultimately what's going to happen, that vibrant youth, that vitality, such beautiful young children. Where's the children? They're so beautiful, and they're so, you want to protect them and love them. And then as we grow, and then the way he meets girl, we're all very attracted to how we can be happy by this rasa. Because everything was based on the Adi rasa, that love that Krishna has for Radharani, for the gopis. And everyone's trying to find that happiness in all species of life. In human species, we're also trying to find that happiness in friendship and different relationships. But the relationships become really, really solid as we try to apply ourselves in Krishna consciousness. It's not easy, 50 years endeavoring, or more than that. Even someone think, well, I've been chanting for 20 years or 30 years. This should be. I want to have that higher taste. I was reading the chapter, "Stay High Forever." This because everyone's taking drugs. Timothy Leary was doing the LSD and all the different drugs, thinking that if I can stimulate this spiritual experience. And there was a group that came to see Prabhupada. I said, well, you've never taken drugs, so how do you know? He said, well, all my disciples have taken for so long. So I agree with you. Tell them. He said, yes, it's like you go up and go up and go up, but you always have to come back down. By chanting Krishna's holy name, you don't come down, you stay high forever. And that experience, it takes some time to experience that. And so I felt very, very fortunate to somehow get the real Bhagavad Gita, because I was reading Maharishi Mahesh Yogi Bhagavad Gita, 6 chapters of impersonalism, couldn't figure out what it was talking about really. But after my barber, I had hair back then, I was playing in a rock and roll band, and we were talking about Bhagavad Gita, and he sold me the Bhagavad Gita and Back to Godhead magazines. And on the back of Back to Godhead magazine, I saw Vishnu Jan Swami with a traveling bus, all the devotees colorful saris, everyone's chanting and dancing. There was prashadam. He said, come, travel, chant, dance, and feast. Have a feast and be happy. I thought, wow, sounds like a good program. I'm gonna try that out. And that's what Prabhupada gave them, prashad distribution, chanting of the holy name. He was, for hours, when they were in Tompkins Square Park. I also I started a business in New York, on the Lower East Side, really close to 22nd Avenue. So from there, I'd go to Manhattan, but every day I'd stop at around that special big tree, the oak tree, where Prabhupada, they did one of their very first public kirtans. The devotees were very much afraid to be in the public, exposing themselves, and I think at that time Kirtananda shaved up and had some yellow robes, and there was a sensation. People were looking and mocking them, and there was all kinds of. I know the first time I went to Sankirtan, I was kind of like, it's free. I got to talk to people, and I got to approach people, and what are they going to think of me? And so the devotees were a bit afraid and a little bit uneasy, but Prabhupada, head high and looking like a real general and just so fixed. And Prabhupada said, "What are they saying?" And Brahmananda would tell him, "It's okay, just kept going." People would just mocking and they think, hey, you forgot to take your bed sheets off. Why do you have your bed sheets? And the shaven heads, it was a sensation. But in 22nd Avenue, or Tompkins Square Park, where just Prabhupada, he was not in good health, but he was full of vitality and beaming with brilliance and smiling, and not artificially, just so happy. He had his little group of like planting the seed, and I think then the Kirtananda, Satsarup, Achyutananda, they just became initiated. There was a second set of initiations. Prabhupada did marriage ceremony. So he started this society, and the beginning of the chant, he was playing very rhythmically on his little bongo drum, and all the musicians, he would like, whenever any musician would come, flute player, saxophone player, other drummers, he would acknowledge, like, yeah, come join us, just by the gesture of his head. And people just felt like participating with Prabhupada and being with Prabhupada. And you could see that in the strangest mixed culture of Ukrainian, Polish, and Irish, and German, and hippies, bohemians, a real mixed culture right there in the Lower East Side, New York, and Allen Ginsberg, and the drug, everyone was so looking for something, a different experience. They want to have a consciousness expansion. How can I expand my consciousness? How can I understand what is the purpose and goal of life? And that's the basic question philosophically. Okay, there's a Supreme Lord, but how to achieve that higher state? So Prabhupada gave the formula by chanting Krishna's holy name and creating centers where devotees can come together, because in the 7 principles of spreading Krishna consciousness, where we can actually come together and relish Krishna consciousness by chanting, dancing. The philosophy is there, prasadam is there, association is there, service is there, isn't it? They spend hours every day decorating the deities and cooking for the deities and going out on book distribution to tell others about the glories of Krishna consciousness and cleaning the temple in Vrindavan. Right now distributing 30,000 bowls of khichdi daily, every day. It's going out through like that. And we built a Krishna Balaram hall in our Goshala land, which is quite huge. And every day we're feeding twice a day, 5,000 people free prasad, because devotees like to sponsor prasadam. And this is our wonderful weapon. We have the holy name, not we have, but the holy name is there, and we're trying to broadcast to others. And books are the basis. So preaching is the essence, books are the basis, purity is the force, utility is the principle. That means we actually have to use some intelligence, how we can spread the chanting of Krishna's holy name, how we can get more books. Now we're in the marathon time, book distribution marathon. And all of you have made the endeavor to come all the way here so we can see the deities, we can chant together and hear some of the philosophy. But I feel fortunate also to have spending time, they did it in the Shakamata. You know, they're working in our deity department, maintenance department, polishing out all the deities, silk, making also the jewelry for the deities. And also, right now, we're doing a whole new Pujari department, the deity rooms are being made with nice teak wood and reconstructing underneath the deities, the 4 rooms we have there. Anyway, there's a big project in Vrindavan that we're doing right now, trying to bring the standards of deity worship, prasad distribution, book distribution. Every day, 2,000, 3,000 books are going out. Just, and not just during the marathon, practically the whole year. We thought last year after Kartik that it's going to slow down. The crowds are coming tremendous. It's become like a Kumbh Mela in Vrindavan on a daily basis. I can't try to get from my house to the temple without feeling that, there's mass of people. It's a nice thing. I kind of like it back when I was there in the 90s. I came in 93 with my family to Vrindavan. So 30 years ago, just bicycle rickshaws, peacocks. You could actually walk the Parikram path without getting killed. But now, this is Chaitanya's flood of mercy. When Lord Chaitanya was traveling, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people would just come to get the mercy. So we have to perform that austerity too, to try to serve Prabhupada in his mission. And we're looking forward to creating even a nicer situation for the generations of devotees who will continue the preaching at Krishna Balaram Mandir. But all over the world there's opportunity to serve. But I think Krishna Balaram Mandir is a very special place, Vrindavan Dham Ki. And anyway, how's the timing going? I think it's time for Shruta, right? Because the main act will come on now. This is all the preliminary stuff. I'm just trying to get your appetite up so that you can really enjoy the feast. No, but it's nice. We spend time just trying to appreciate. That's one thing we should have, more gratitude and appreciation for what Prabhupada's given us, and try to render some service, something. We can all do something for preaching, spreading the mission of Krishna consciousness. We might have shortcomings. We all have a lot of shortcomings. It's not easy. Even great personalities say, "Can you make me Brahmin?" Yes, we can make you Brahmin. No intoxication, no illicit sex, no meeting, no gambling, and chant Hare Krishna. Impossible. Not possible. So difficulties are always there, without doubt. But somehow, by the holy name and by chanting, the cleansing takes place, and one day it'll awaken the desire to, let me put more energy behind my own bhakti, my own Krishna consciousness, and by the mercy of the devotees, we'll gain more strength. So that's why I hang around Shrita, hoping to get some more strength. You want to just take it in your hand, or how you want to do it? Because it doesn't look like that little microphone's going to work for you. Anyway, thank you.